This is my VMRay console. And to set up to, that's an automation dashboard that gives you the statistics regarding what was submitted to your VMRay instance through IR Mailbox, through SMTP forwarder, through SOAR, through EDR. I don't have an EDR integration in place. There are some more down below as well. To create an IR Mailbox, you need to click on a cog, then go to Analysis. Here you have a separate button, which is called IR Mailbox. In order to configure an IR Mailbox, you need to be an administrator. You can have several different IR Mailbox. This is pretty convenient if you want to not to give the capability to submit suspicious emails to everyone in the company, but just want to give it to different security teams or IT teams or, I don't know, support teams. With that, you can have separate email addresses, separate IR mailboxes for separate teams, which is pretty convenient as well, according to many of our customers. While creating an IR mailbox, you need to give it a name. Let be abuse mailbox 2. You need to select whether you want to enable or keep it disabled. Then we have a possibility to set up the whitelist, which is basically who is allowed to send emails to those addresses. In case you specify something here, whatever comes from the domain that is not listed will be discarded. You will not receive any separate notification that the email was dropped or bounced or something. The next one is the submitter confirmation. Whether do you want to inform the sender that the email was successfully received? Then whether do you want to notify the sender about the results of the check, like never, always, or just notify when it is malicious? A good practice is to always notify because users want to help you. Why not to let them know that they did a great job? If you are afraid that users will eat up all of your quota that you've got in VMRay, you can set some limitation here. And then comes the whole bunch of settings regarding the security part. First of all, whether do you want to use just static analysis or both static and dynamic analysis? By default, both will be used. Then on top of static and dynamic analysis, we have reputation engines. So reputation analysis can be enabled or disabled here. Triage stands for our capability to stop analysis in case we know already the file is benign or vice versa, the file is malicious. But what is probably most interesting here is the link detonation. Artur just mentioned that we got different ways. You can always detonate all the links. You can fully disable link detonation, which is not recommended because, for example, because of the links that can be located within the PDF documents that are attached to the email, and that's a pretty popular delivery chain at the moment. Or it can be smart. And with smart, you will have in place the full set of different complicated rules that we use to decide if the URL should be detonated or not. Then analysis caching stands for the capability to reuse the previous analysis of the same object or same email. We can distinguish between different emails, and if they are the same, we cannot. We may skip analyzing the email that was previously analyzed. Pretty convenient in terms of saving your quota in VMRay, unless you are on the unlimited license. Then how deep we want to go into the analysis, how many dynamic analysis per sample we can go with. That's a pretty interesting one because for URLs, normally you just need to use, I don't know, one browser, and that's enough. For files, though, it makes sense to analyze executables on different versions of Windows, like Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 11. And we allow to do this. We have different rules on how we detonate by default, how we detonate different files. And here you can decide how many detonations on maximum you want to have for every sample. How do we treat archives, and how do we treat disk images, which is a brand new one. Well, it's not a brand new one, but it's a very important one because recently it started about several months ago, even more, I would say, more than half a year ago, when a malicious payload started being delivered with the ISO files. And this setting in particular allows you to treat ISO as a sample, as a compound sample, or split it to separate samples. Let's leave it as default as well. Finally, how do you want to have your machine learning engines? As Erto mentioned already, we got 3 models. They are all trained in-house, so you don't need to do anything. We feed them, we retrain them every couple of weeks, and yeah, we keep an eye on not having the false positives, and also on keeping the detection level for unknown phishing pretty high. Finally, you can set up data retention here. We do not share anything of your data. We don't even have access to your data unless you explicitly allow us to do this, because you want our labs team to look into some sort of analysis and yeah, help you with understanding the verdict or the reasons. You can also already delete the files if you have submitted something and you think that you have submitted it wrongly. So with all that, I guess we have created an IR mailbox. When you hit, yeah, I needed to specify the quote limit, but I didn't want to have it. So my new IR mailbox is created, as you see here. The email was generated. That's an email at ir-mailbox.vmray.com. And you can always change the settings, view submissions, disable or delete this IR mailbox. On top of that, if you want to be notified about every IR mailbox submission, because within the IR mailbox you were only able to notify the sender, you as an admin account admin can go to your profile. Here you have notifications, and here you can decide if you want to be notified about malicious verdicts, malicious suspicious verdicts, or you want to always be notified if someone has submitted an email to IR mailbox.